That's cool. Like, I love that. Look at that transition. Wow. Once that's starting to dry, look at that. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It? Where I travel around the world and the internet looking for supplies that will help you with your artistic journey or just make the experience that much better. Now, we are going to continue with our marker watercolor brush expansion and finding out which ones are good and which ones are not. And this time we travel all the way to Germany to find Lyra Aqua Brush Duo, high quality. So these are brushes that I actually did pick up while I was visiting my family in Germany. I saw them and was like, yes please, let's try these out. And it has a bullet tip and a brush. I have no idea if these are any good or how they will perform, but for the last ones that we really had, I'm very excited to see if these are indeed worth it. So let's go check them out. Okay, so when you look at this packaging, it looks nice and neat, right? It's got this nice image on it. There's a nice modern type of graphic, which is really cool. The packaging itself is just paper, right? Nothing too fantabulous about that. But it's got 24. This one has a 24 pack. The colors look pretty vibrant in there. It's German, so it starts off in German, but we're gonna read what it says on the back. Lyra Aqua Brush Duo is a pen with a brush-on effect especially made for artists, designers, and also suitable for hobby painters. The tips are extremely stable. There is a broad tip on one side, which allows brush-like techniques. The fine line and drawings are easy to do with the tip on the other side of the Aqua Duo brush. This way, pictures, layouts, etc. can be done in the perfect way. Alright, so cool. Let's see. Let's open it up. Come on. All right, so they're thin. They're thinner markers. Let's see, is there anything else in here? No. All right, so they're thinner markers, which is cool. It feels plasticky, right? Like it feels like plastic. It's got this weird design on here, right? But I guess it's to make sure that it doesn't actually roll off, right? So that's cool, right? So it allows it so that it won't just flip over and roll down the thing, so that's nice. But it feels like super cheap, like it feels like super plastic. Oh, but man, that is connected. But look at that brush. Like that is one heck of a brush. I really do like that, and it's got a nice tip on it, so that's cool. No, it doesn't really have a loud snap, right? But you can feel it. You can feel when it connects, so that's good. But it doesn't actually have that nice snap to it. But they are hard to get off, so that connection's good, right? That's really good. The bullet tip itself, I don't necessarily like these when they're not in an actual point, but that doesn't change the fact that you can use them really well. So I mean that's cool. So cap test. Oh, maybe backwards. Okay, so the cap goes in there. All right. Okay, so that's good. And somehow I've already got green on my hand from this marker. I don't even understand that. And then. And then the tip goes, the cap goes on the back of that too. So there's that. But apparently it's like the liquid or the ink and stuff comes out really, really fast, so you can get it on your fingers. Like I got it all over my finger. Oh, good. Excuse me. So the ink. But the ink is like, look at that, like all over my fingers already, and I don't understand. All I did was take it out. And it's bleeding all over me, which is weird. Let's see about a different color. Let's see if I'm gonna start getting red everywhere. I mean, but the brush tips look great, I don't know why or how I got green all over my fingers already, but it's got two 2 sets, right? 24 colors, got some nice colors, nice variation. So we should be able to see how they blend and whatnot. As usual, we're going to use the watercolor paper second, but first we're going to try some marker paper. All right, we're going to try this marker paper, and then we're going to, whoops. So we're going to see that. So first, just try this blue. Try the small tip first. Oh, and despite it not having a tip, right? It's got some really nice thin lines on it, and it's consistent. It doesn't bead up. It doesn't bead at the top, so it doesn't bleed once you put it down. So that's nice, and the color is super vibrant. Like, that is a really nice blue, light blue. All right, let's try the brush. Oh wow! Oh, it's semi-firm, right? So you can still get these nice little marks, these little tips in there, but then you can still, you know, you can get this nice color. Blends on that. Oh, look at that. It's just super vibrant, but it is, like, I think because it is watercolor, right? It's not alcohol based, it's a watercolor. You can see that it's starting to bead up, but it's not tearing, you know. I mean, you got to work at it to try and get some of the fuzz out, you know, but once you keep doing it, right? Like, if you keep going, because it is wet, right? It'll start destroying your paper. But you saw just how long it took for this water-based marker to tear up my paper, right? That is fantastic. I went over that a couple times, right? And it was like, oh, it's good, we got you. So that's actually really good. You know, it took me a long time to go about, like, trying to destroy it. But, you know, the brush gives you a nice, I mean, look at, it gives you a nice mark, right? And this, the pen, right? It is great, right? Like the actual pen aspect of it, that was really good. So, you know, try the red ones. I mean, you cannot fight the fact of the color, like the vibrancy of this color, right? The speed, so the ink comes out great. There's no, like, I don't have to go really, really slow in order to make it draw, right? And then you just, right? These brushes are nice. Like, they're not super stiff, and they're not super floppy. So you can get some real nice thin lines, and then do some thick, you know, you can do that nice feathering, right? And come in. So I think this really lends itself for layering, right? Because you can just keep kind of throwing up, and then you get this nice little layered effect, which is cool, and it doesn't tear up your paper. Like, that for me is probably the biggest thing. Like, this water-based marker is not tearing up my paper. I can't even tell you how much that is, like, a super plus for this. Oh man, look at that yellow. Look at how vibrant that yellow is. Like, these are nice. All right, right, super vibrant color. They look great. Let's see about this orange. You know, we're just gonna keep. Look at that. Just, they're so nice coming out of the pen. Right? They just, woo. These are nice. And then, you know, like we said, we showed on the other ones, right? You can just come in and just layer that and get a nice coat, and it still doesn't destroy your paper. And you can even do, like, all right, so we do one light, we come in, we come back to a certain spot, you stop, come back, right? And you can even get a nice transition almost just by going over it with your marker, right? So that's it. These are nice. These are really nice. And they have such a nice wide array of colors, right? So this, right, this one right here, nice. You don't need to, I think at this point we're just showing off the different colors, right? Because they've got some nice different variations. You don't have to, just stick to the basic blues, yellows, and oranges and stuff like that. So it's got some really nice colors, variety. I mean, I know that it's a 24 pack, but still, you know, I've gotten 24 packs that pretty much had such similar colors that it was like, well, you just gave me more of the same. But look at that. Right? There's so much control with these. It's so nice. Although it does, as you saw, it does let out the color. Right? Like it does not play around. Like it will definitely put out color. So if you're not paying attention, you'll get it all over your fingers. See, like I did. So there's a downside. I think it's when you put it in the cap, or try and put it in the cap, right? So blue, I've got some blue, I mean some green, some blue, yellow, just got all the colors going on right now. But, and these are great for just writing, mostly because it's just, you know, there is no delay. You know, look at that. It just, that's fantastic. The ink is able to flow out like that without any delay. Like that right there is just fantastic. We're gonna do our little pen test again. Because, you know, gotta know if you can actually use it with some type of pen. Let's see, we got touch. Oh, we got 2 touches. Touch, then we do Faber-Castell, Copic. I even got Staedtler, bought some new pens. Alright, so touch. This one is Faber-Castell. We did Copic, which is very thick. Staedtler. And then, of course, the identity pen. Alright, so those are our pens, and as always, we're just going to use some of the brightest colors we got. Oh, I think this is like a neon color, so this is going to be perfect. Alright, and see which ones kind of pull off. We'll use a regular yellow from over here. And then a red. Red, and then this light blue, and I think that'll be enough for the test. Alright, okay. So, let's see. For the most part, they don't smear. The Staedtler has a problem with the really brightish neon yellow, so did the Faber-Castell. Copic smeared a little bit. But with a lot of the other colors, nothing really happened. Faber-Castell is having probably the most problems with the mark over. The one that that wasn't really affected at all was the identity pen. The identity pen seems to be doing really well with the watercolor, with these water-based markers for watercolor and stuff like that. All the other ones, they tend to smear a little bit, not too bad. Even the touch smeared a little bit with this yellow, but the identity pen, for some reason, does not work well with alcohol-based markers, but with these water-based markers, seems to be doing pretty well. Alright, so let's see, let's check out the watercolor real quick. Alright, we're going to try this orange. Alright, I'll lay down some of that just real nice. Love the watercolor paper because you can just see how the ink just sits on top of the paper, which is nice. You know, it allows you to manipulate and move it around and stuff like that. So we got our trusty, you know, watercolor brush. Make sure we still got some water in it. Yep, there we go. And then let's see. Yeah, you can. I mean, you know what I really like about this? What I really like about these is that you can go over the brush and it doesn't pull up all the ink right away. Right? So you can actually come in and have like a marker drawing and then touch it lightly to get some of that the color out. And that's really cool, right? And you can just manipulate that. Just make that work. These might be my favorite. Like, these might actually be my favorite so far. The brushes, because the actual brush pen, right? The brush is so stiff. Like, it is a nice, firm thing. So, but like I said, you can come in and kind of move the color a little bit before literally pulling it all out, right? And it just, hear that, you can just, right? That's cool. Like, I love that. Look at that transition. Wow. Once that's starting to dry, look at that. That's just great, right? You just move that on. Let's see what it does with the little, right? Like the little brush. Let's see what happens there. Right? Doesn't like the paper doesn't like that one as much, but oh look at that. See, you can just, the little one though, like, you can pull in some details, but you can tell that with the little ones, it pulls that water. But see, look, you don't even need a lot. You don't even need a lot to get some nice watercolor out, right? And you can just keep adding water to make that thinned out. Look at that. That's great. That's pretty awesome. All right, so I'm gonna do we're gonna try a quick transition to see if we can get some nice stuff going on here, right? So we're gonna go from this yellow to this orange, right, to this orange right here, and then to this red. All right, we're gonna try this out, right? All right, so we're literally we're make sure that the blue's all out of this, and we're gonna pull it down, I think, right? And we're just gonna kind of, well, I guess not. Maybe we need to pull it this way. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's what I'm trying to do. All right, let me just get some blue, some yellow, right? Kind of mix those together, right? And then same thing here, right? Just pull this together. Right. And then of course, you know, you would have a paper towel so you can kind of move that around, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how, some more water out, get that off, right? And just see how that's going to transition out. All right, I really think that we might have something really nice here. Like that, right? So, like, this is gonna dry, but look, like, oh my goodness, look at that. All right, look at that transition. This is some great stuff. Like, oh, this is good stuff. And of course, you know, because it's not dry, it looks streaky, but as we notice with these two, once it actually dries, oh my goodness. All right? And then also, look, you can get some nice, like, you can even with the, like, off castings, right? You get this nice transition. That's nice. All right, so we just got done reviewing the Lyra Dual Aqua Brush, and man, these are fantastic. Like I said, I think these are my favorite because they were, you know, they deceptive, right? The plastic was plasticky, right? It felt really, really cheap, but the brush was amazing. And even though I don't like the styling of the nibs that they used for the thin part, it was awesome. Thin lines, flowed really nicely. Like, there was no delay. I didn't have to worry about it kind of speckling out. These were fantastic markers. And Another plus was, as you saw with the water, because it's a water-based brush, right? Brush marker, that it didn't tear up my paper instantly. Like, I was able to go over it again and again and again, and then it still took me time of rubbing over it before it even decided to disintegrate. That's huge. That is absolutely fantastic. These markers are well worth the money. I highly recommend getting these. If you are getting watercolor brushes and you know, like marker brushes, and you're like, you know what, I'm looking for one, find these. These are fantastic. They are by far the best ones that I've had, or that I've tested so far. So I highly, highly recommend you getting these. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching this video and supporting the channel, as well as the Is It Worth It. Now, as we come to an end for the watercolor markers, I'm looking for new things to review. So if you have any comments, any ideas, any product that you'd like me to review, please let me know in the comments below, and that will be absolutely fantastic for me to look at, grab, and then put on the list of other materials to review for you guys. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know exactly when we update the channel with these Is It Worth It or other educational videos for you to watch and help make you a better artist, or just make the experience that much more pleasurable. As I mentioned before, thank you guys so very, very much. And if you could, please hit the like button. Go ahead and share it to anyone who you think would actually gain anything from this content. Thank you guys so very, very much. And I will see you at the next video.